Mart is my designated rocket driver at the moment.
Mm. The thing is, with your rocket, it can drive by itself. So,
Yes, it can. Hey,
what's
Ross,
up?
long no see, man.
I know.
Amazing. How are you? You radiate. What happened today?
I met you. I saw you and Mart.
Oh,
Mart, it was Mart. It was Mart's energy.
yes.
Martha's
Tell me,
magician.
Yes, he is indeed.
you look
Uh,
different.
I do.
Yes.
Does it mean new me?
What happened? What did you do?
I gave myself no acetol.
Woo! Yes.
Yeah.
Take your own
And
medicine.
yes. And
Ronald, if you'll be losing your connection, or is this is the connection good everywhere? Maybe it's mine.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I appreciate you guys, all of you, very much. And I love you guys. And I I'm grateful that the universe is providing for us and is pointing us in the right direction and bringing us together. And I've never really felt anything this special before, you know, um, from a group of friends, family, and friends are the family is the friends we choose, right? And however that saying goes, but I think you understand what I mean. And so, mm, uh, I'm making a pledge to go sober. Yeah, and
What does it mean? Um,
no alcohol because I don't have a problem. Right, sorry, how do I phrase this again? I don't have I don't have a problem with alcohol, but alcohol has a problem with me in the sense that I don't wake up in the morning and feel like I need to drink or anything like that, so I don't have an alcohol problem. But when I drink, I can't just have one, and I never have been able to just have one. And then it gets me into my head, and when I'm in my head, I basically just go crazy, and I can't do that, and I don't want to do that, and it always is the root of my self-sabotage, because I have a genuine problem with my own worth, and I think, you guys are so loving and caring, um, that I think I've kind of struggled accepting that, sometimes because I don't always think that I'm worthy or um entitled to it, right? And yeah, and I think it's time to not just help others, but also to help myself. And
Beautiful,
it's
brother.
thank you.
Ross, thank you for sharing. Thank you for being so open. It really touched my heart. Don't know what you're doing there. It really tickles.
Yeah, I feel it too.
Grateful that you can see what's in front of you and recognize. And it's so beautiful that you see that it was a pattern of not self-worth.
Yeah.
That's strong. That's a strong one, man. Like it feels strong.
Yeah. I mean, that's also why I am so passionate about making an impact, because I suppose I've always felt the guilt, the baggage, as you can call it, of past mistakes and mistakes that I create a lot of the times, and it's time to change that.
That's beautiful. Fucking you rock, man.
Thank you.
1, 2, 3. You
You
rock!
rock! Hey!
So, Ross, my brother, one of the things that we remember from our amazing and beautiful uh, teacher that had always shared the profoundness of why is it we do a lot of things that we do? It's like loss of love, less of love, never getting the love. And the greatness of this family and this community and the people that are here to serve alongside you is that we have an infinite amount of the love. And so the choice that we always want to emphasize is how can we bring each other closer? What do we need to do to bring each other closer? At the end of the day, the decisions are always going to be ours if we want to step up and into those decisions, but we want to create the space for that. And that was what
We want to create a space for that.
sorry, say again.
Acetal.
You just had a no acetol.
Sorry, my apologies. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You're human, my friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is something I'm very honored that you're recognizing, like Sagitas had said, because it gives us the capacity to then really help you see that we have come into your reality as your mirrors so that you can really feel safe and certain that you can completely be yourself. There is no lack. There is no limitation. There is only infiniteness. And as a result, the creative part of you gets to now come out because we have so many others available and supportive doing what they do best. So this is how we all get to shine like the sun.
Ross,
Yeah.
is it possible to share something with you, mate?
Yeah.
So firstly, thank you for sharing so openly and vulnerably. I quit alcohol about 2 years ago. And interestingly enough, tonight I was out with some friends. We were having some food, and one of them is a yoga teacher, Hatha Yoga, Shiva, his name is, ironically. And we were talking, and he was talking about alcohol and the actual definition of the word alcohol is the association with the devil. And not to get too biblical, spiritual, dark, or anything like that, but I built a business, a very successful company, being pissed out of my face and on cocaine and having sex and wild and, just all of the typical shitstorms that you go through when you have no guidance as a dad, you don't have a role model in your life that you can look to.
Mm.
And I did a meditation this morning, and you've also messaged me on WhatsApp, so this is even more synchronistic. And this guy Shiva, this guy Shiva that did the Hatha yoga, yesterday he had a drink and some guy spilled water onto him. And he got so enraged, he had to basically stop himself from lashing out at him. And this is a guy that teaches fucking Hatha yoga, that lived on an ashram for 2 years. And he told me about alcohol being the actual link is to the devil. And moving into the meditation, so I did a meditation this morning, a Dr. Joe meditation based around creating possibilities. And I had a download come through for me to create a movement to inspire men to heal their bodies, because this is the exact same process that I've just gone through over the last 2 years.
Mm.
And helping men heal their body by taking out the toxicity. It's taken me about a year to heal my gut. And I've just started doing the ketogenic diet. And as I've healed the leaky gut, because I used to eat sugar and drink are just fucking toxic. When you have a leaky gut, you have inflammation of the brain. So you can sit there all day and meditate and some nice personal, you can do all the spiritual stuff, but if your gut's all fucked up and you're still got inflammation of the brain because you're still putting toxicity into it, the inflammation causes ill mind.
Mm.
And it's literally taken about a year. And I'm on a ketogenic diet now, mate. And the purity of my thoughts, the calmness, the connectiveness to myself through doing this ketogenic diet has brought a sense of stillness that I wasn't able to attain previously. And I just want you to know that I found the ketogenic diet for a guy called Dr. Palmer's who cured people that had schizophrenia, right? My mum had schizophrenia. She committed suicide when she was a while ago. And the ketogenic diet done in a certain way is essentially healing the gut, which heals the mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to share that with you, brother, because you can feel very out of place with your thoughts, not knowing that it's what you're putting into the body that's creating the inflammation in the brain. And in 2 weeks now, I've gone from like irrational thinking, unable to like ADHD, self-loathing, I'm not good enough, to actually having in 2 weeks of the keto to being like, oh, actually, I'm starting to see and feel balance in myself and worthiness in myself. And if you can heal schizophrenia through a ketogenic diet, you can fucking heal anything, my friend.
Mm.
So you're on a beautiful road, and thank you for sharing. And I just want to applaud you to, I just want to share that with you because you don't realize how fucked you are from the shit you put into your body and how that affects the brain.
Mm.
You can become very mentally unstable by eating just sugar, let alone drinking alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And when I had this download this morning called Dad Bod, it was really to inspire men to heal their bodies inside out so they feel good. And taking alcohol out is a great start. And then going onto a ketogenic diet, brother, if you can do it straight away, like if you can edge into something like that, you'll start to fast. And as you start to fast, you heal the gut. As you heal the gut, you heal the mind.
Mm-hmm.
What is the keto whatever diet?
You basically
Yeah.
put your ketosis.
So you're basically taking out carbohydrates and sugars, which then means the body then runs on ketones, which means that it then goes into autophagy. This is the added benefit. And as you go into autophagy, your body starts to curate and heal all the toxicity that's in the body. It starts to eat the cells that are damaged. And if you've got Ross here, it's like anything, it's a pattern. If you eat unhealthy, you start to re-trigger the neural pathways because when you drink from lack. You don't drink because you feel whole. You don't go, oh, I feel really fucking amazing. Let me add loads of alcohol into my life. And it's the same with sugar. I feel so good and pure in my body. Let me add sugar into my life. And they're man-made produces that are all super toxic to the spirit, to the body, to the soul. And when you want to create wholeness, and this is from a guy that was suicidal fucking like 3 months ago. I'll be open with you, right?
3 days ago.
Fuck off. But the thoughts are triggered by the energy that goes into the body because what you put in is what you get out. And
Yeah.
I share that with you, Ross, with my friends, because I've got a son and I want to be the best dad that I can be for him. And I've had to change my whole lifestyle. And I didn't know how toxic my thoughts were becoming because of what I was putting in nutritionally. And Ross, you can sit there. Your thoughts aren't always your thoughts, Ross. So when you invite negative, toxic things into the body, you also invite negative, toxic things into the mind.
Mm.
And when you drink alcohol, it literally separates your body from the soul. And you invite negative energies in that then become a pattern for more negative energies. And the quickest way that I found that I've been able to heal my gut, which has healed my body, which has healed my mind, is through nutrition. Like, fact. And if Dr. Palmer can, short story, then I'm going to shut up. There's a woman with Dr. Palmer who was 50 years old and she had schizophrenia. My mum had schizophrenia. She had it she was 70. She had it for 50 years. Now, schizophrenia is where you're actually delusional and you can't tell what's real and what's not. And I lived with a mum that had that. And what's so beautiful about this story is this woman by accident went to go and lose weight and they put her on a ketogenic diet. And she was she put all of her symptoms of schizophrenia into remission through the ketogenic diet. And she lived a life of sanity for the further 15 years that she existed. And she was taking all the medication under the sun to prevent that. But it never worked until she went onto a ketogenic diet. And the beautiful gift of that is her story shares how through synchronicity and through diet, you can cure anything. Like, the problem's not in your mind, it's what you're putting into your mouth. Because it starts with the mouth, the words you speak, the food you eat, the fluid you put in. It all starts with your mouth, verbally, biblically, spiritually. Everything you say, speak, and put into the body has a ripple effect throughout every cell in your body. So I hope that inspires you, brother, in a way that will help you, lead you into a sense of, oh, actually, I'm okay. I am worthy. I just need to heal the body, and then you'll heal the mind.
I
Thank
just
you,
got here. I just know I love you already.
Yeah, thank you, Aaron. I really appreciate that. And the thing is, I need to do this for good because I've been down this path a few times. And without getting into the story, I was quite suicidal too in the summer, and I also went back and did some cocaine in the summer as well. And again, it's all the same. As you said, it's the same story, that I've been feeding my mind. And, I picked myself back up and I sorted myself out. And this is the final thing I need to do, is to just quit alcohol and go back to the regime I had a few years ago, which was exactly that. I was pretty much on the keto diet. I eliminated carbs, sugars. I quit smoking. I occasionally go back to smoking, but I've quit it pretty much. And but you're absolutely right. Where I felt my best was having that routine in a day where I create some space for my headspace, focus on what I eat, because as you said, you are mentally and physically what you put in your body, what you eat. And when you're in that good mindset, then your language changes, your natural endorphins, moods, all level and normalize, or at least you can deal with them much more rationally and you can deal with the erratic thoughts that happen. And, that's, you just completely reminded me about that. So I really appreciate you saying that, Aaron. Really do.
Well, you created it, Ross. And, if you ever want to get close to the sensation, the feeling of being connected to God, the quickest way to do that, other than prayer, is through fasting.
Yeah.
Because when you fast, you're basically healing the body. The body knows what to do. You just fuck it up because you keep adding shit in, and it's like then you get to the breaking point. But I'm not, it's not even extreme now, Ross. I'm doing a ketogenic diet and I'm eating between 12 and 4. So my body's in 20 hours of fasting every day. And that means the body's healing and eating all of the toxic cells that are in the body, all the cancerous cells. And as it's starting to do that, I've noticed my tongue has gone from yellow to pure, like baby skin. You know, like when you've got a toddler's tongue, it looks pure. I had candida. It's now all healed. This isn't like fucking like 3 or 4. It's not even like 2 weeks, maybe, if that. And there's a sense of peace that's occurring in me where I'm like, oh, actually, everything's going to be okay. And there's a the sense of lack that I had before is diminishing. I'm not feeling the need to constantly seek outside of myself. And I think what you're looking for, my friend, is a sense of inner peace, but you're going to find that when you understand what's really going on with your body. And it's not about you. It's not about what you're doing wrong. It's about being actually unaware about the impact of what toxic chemicals do to the body, about what toxic food does to the body. Because your feeling that you're searching for, that sense of wholeness, that comes from really communicating with the body and eating God's food, God's single ingredients foods. Like if you're going to eat food, it's not got preservatives, additives, toxic, stuff that gets into the brain that you don't understand what it does to it. When you eat single chain foods, you're eating pure foods that God has given you that was there for food, not man-made. And you'll start to find a resonance deeper with yourself where you feel more connected to God because your soul, your God, whatever you want to use, but you'll feel a sense of connectiveness to yourself because your gut, every time you drink alcohol, it severs the gut lining, it inflames the gut, which inflames the brain, which then takes you all the way back to the origin of why you decided to start drinking alcohol at the beginning. So, yeah, heal your gut, my friend, and you'll start to see. I honestly, my friend, like today I walked around and I'm like, I remember abundance by birthright, which is what we all are, is the sun. The sun is always giving us energy. And the sun that we want to be, the shining bright light that we want to be, we can only be when we connect. And if you think that your gut is always your communication panel, your gut is always speaking to you. And if you're disconnected from your gut, you're disconnected from life. If you heal your gut, the life inside of you can communicate properly. But if your gut is disconnected from your body and it generates all of your serotonin, most of your serotonin, 75% of your immune system, you're on an internal fight inside of your body for survival because your body's fighting all of the shit you're putting into it. When you heal the gut, you create wholeness within the gut. Your gut that can then communicate with your brain. And then you're healing from the inside out. So you're feeling good. You can be the sun. You are the sun. You can shine bright because you're feeling bright from inside out.
Oh, love the sun. I love the sun shining from inside,
Beautiful.
seeing the light.
Mm.
Mm.
It's your energy, Ross. If you think about, we all want energy. That's the most valuable asset in the world that we have is energy.
Hmm.
And if the energy inside of you is toxic and you feel it from the gut, you know, you have to put your hands on your stomach and press in to know whether or not you feel good or not. If you think that your gut is your energy source, it metabolizes, it converts fuel, it communicates to your brain. And if you think that your gut is essentially connected to every part of your body, and if you're abusing your inside, you're abusing your gut by feeding it all the stuff that makes it have to focus on healing rather than shining, you're taking away from your vital energy source. The most vital part of your energy source is your gut.
Yeah.
So if you imagine when you heal your gut, you heal internally. And if you heal internally, you naturally start to feel the external heal because the internal is healed.
Mm.
You know, brother Ross, I've got less materialistically than I've ever had in my life. I've sold my car, my house, my business, my watch. I'm living in the back of a fucking
My
my
watch.
yeah, my watch, my Rolex. I'm living in Cambodia in the back of my baby mother's house, right? I got money, I don't need to be here, but funny enough, I feel more full, more whole than I've ever felt in my whole fucking life.
Yeah.
Having pursued truth and realized that the power always lied inside of me. But if the insides of me are all fucking shit, then so's my viewpoint on life.
Mm.
And I believe as humanity, you know, as a gift, if we as humanity want to heal, we have to heal from the inside out. And it's hard to hear what your gut is saying to you. If your gut, you know, the instinct, always listen to your gut.
Mm.
Well, if your gut's all fucked up and inflamed, you can't hear your gut. You just can't. It's like you can kind of you'll hear it, but for the wrong reasons. You'll hear it because your gut's like, oh, I need to work on healing because I can't really feel the beautiful essence of life because I'm working on trying to fix what you're doing to me. But when you heal that gut, my man, you're able to feel the resonance of life at a much deeper level. And you can feel the synchronicities rather than seeing synchronicities, you can feel synchronicities. And you can be guided by your intuition a lot deeper if you have a mind-body connection.
Mm.
Everything you want is seeking you, my friend. Whatever you're seeking is seeking you. So I feel like there might be some information that might support you, mate.
Thank you. Thank you.
I feel that
Yeah.
was way much more than just information. I feel that was universe speaking, care, love for all of us, it seems. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I definitely been through a lot of that journey as well. You know, I think the universe had to teach me a very harsh, strong lesson last year, and that's in the past now. And it's shown me the path for my future and 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 the light that I need to I will follow, and I know exactly what my path is and what my mission is, and it's so aligned with this group. It's unreal, and it's literally I feel like the universe is bringing everything together for me and providing, and I am way less materialistic than I was. You know, I used to fly around in private jets and you know hit up the Beverly Hills Hotel in LA and all sorts of stuff like that. And these days I don't really care about that. I only used to fly business. Nowadays I'm happy to jump and coach. I actually enjoy it, you know. And so yeah, I think that just like you, brother, it it's that shift and the light, and I feel it usually most days, and I lose it, and it takes me days to get it back if I drink alcohol. And that's why, I just need to cut that out completely again out of my life and get back onto my
No, no, you
path.
already did, Russ. It's already done. So maybe you can change the story if you want.
When I quit alcohol and now I'm back on my path of vitality where I'm focusing, as you said, I will be focusing on my gut because I know that the science behind that, and my mindset will actually naturally fix itself if I focus on my nutrition and my activity and giving myself the space that I need for myself. Then everything else will just fall into place even more than it already is. So yeah, thank you. I really appreciate you guys and really appreciate everything today. So thank you.
I'm curious if ladies has anything to drop, some mic drops.
And isn't it appropriate to actually?
But Ross, one thing I just want to emphasize, my dear bro, is I love how you're always willing to open up. This is one of the greatest and most courageous things that I admire about you. You're always, always willing to share in open. You are not hiding behind anything. And there's a tremendous amount of courage that it takes to be willing to also receive the support of the family. This is something that I really I love seeing, and one of the greatest assets that any of us have is to ask for help. Because when we are open enough to ask for help and to also be held to a higher standard by a group of people that are willing to hold us there, then we naturally grow and progress. It just becomes a beautiful thing. And then you give the opportunity for everyone to say and observe and be willing to share to you, which means that you're open enough to actually take it in.
Thank you.
So by having this commitment, of really stepping up for the next year and really standing tall and holding yourself to these outstanding standards, you give us permission to really hold you there and then keep attracting you even more to the next level, because we know we're all infinite and we're infinitely growing. So, and it happens as a team, teamwork always makes the dream work. We can't do this alone. We're on a major mission as a family here on this beautiful playground. And this is the fun part, let's go play.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Ross, you know, ADHD, I've been doing a lot of studying into this attention deficit disorder, ADHD, um, inability to be able to focus, um, is directly a link through childhood trauma. And what I've noticed when I've done, because I've got loads of little beautiful labels like pre-anxious occupied, attachment style, fucking 13 12 out of the 13 sinister things that happen to children. Like, you know, it's like the stories are beautiful. But what I've noticed when I do the fasting, Ross, is that your brain just creates new neural pathways because it's in autophagy. So this version of you, which is unworthy but is vulnerably presenting itself, when you put the body into a fasting state, because God, source energy, the divine, whatever your, you know, belief system is, like God is always giving. Source energy is for, you know, it's always supplying. The sun is always giving. It's not emotional. It's not, the mosh doesn't have suicidal thoughts. The sun doesn't have suicidal thoughts, rather. It doesn't operate from lack. So when you are connected to source energy, like your source energy, and through that state of fasting, you're purifying your thoughts. And as we start to purify as a collective, it's so beautiful that we can tap into that level of love that is always there, that source energy that's always giving. The highest state of manifestation that any human can ever experience is abundance. And you only need to be abundant to look at the sun. And what I feel for you could be really beautiful, my friend, is just get your fucking feet on the ground, go outside, take your shoes and socks off, put your feet on the ground, stare at the fucking sun for like, 2 or 3 hours, and just connect to the fucking forever giving source energy that is always there. And let that feeling resonate through every cell in your body. And my friend, grounding and looking at the sun. Whoa. Yeah. That's another phenomenal way for you to, if you really want to like anti-inflammatory the body, is put your feet on the ground and ground as much as you can, because it's the best way to anti-inflame the body is through grounding. Like that ketogenic diet, being in the sun, you'll start to create wholeness, and you don't need to do anything, my friend. You don't need to go and speak to a psychotherapist. You don't need to go into your childhood traumas. You don't need to, even talk about the stories, really, because they're just stories, as Siggy always pulls me up on.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm back.
I also, brothers, want to really acknowledge Ronald and Mart. I think, to be able to also spend time with you, Ross, and get into the creative space of that love and nurture to come, and I think there's a lot of value in being able to be there for each other always, and the fact that that these gentlemen, they both drove out, and you guys made the time, all three of you, to connect deeply, to go deeper, and to make the time to make this happen. It makes my heart just sing. It makes my heart just really appreciate the caliber of men that we are here to support and celebrate each other and take care of each other, and not push or ego from an egoic perspective. We're here to welcome and support and bring each other closer. So I just want to thank Ronald and Mart for really taking their time, and Ross, for you also welcoming them into your heart when they were willing to really just step also up, and Ronald, I know that this has also been something super challenging in the past, that you've chosen to change that story and really be there and Marge for also supporting your beloved Papa, your father, to do that. So thank you for being these beautiful mirrors, fellas.
Oh,
I truly appreciate that too, and I really value our afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Ross,
Yeah.
just one more thing, brother. So I started studying. I used to own a gym in England, so I just a short background. So I've always been in fitness per se, and life is all about alchemizing. I think we can all agree that we all have life paths that are our life paths, and all the shit that shows up is for us to alchemize it. There's no getting away from the fact because life is always showing us everything that we need to work on. And today I had this download when I did that meditation by Joe Dispenza of creating a movement to inspire men to heal. And what came up was doing something called what's called Tabata workouts, which are, if you look at the dysfunction of a body from a cellular level, it it actually comes down to the mitochondria.
Mhm.
And the mitochondria is the energy in the cell.
Mhm.
And when we've got damaged mitochondria through toxicity, the whole being of the body suffers. And what came into my mind today was I was going to create a movement to help men. And if you could just dedicate 8 minutes a day to doing some fitness and doing some fitness outside on the grass in the sun for 8 minutes. 8 minute Tabata training is 8 minutes long and it's the equivalent to 30 minutes running. And when you do the breathing, because you're heavy breathing, you're basically rebooting the body at such a rapid way that it's something so small that has such a tremendous ripple effect. And I just want to invite you to do that. I'm going to do a live tomorrow. I'm going to do 8 minutes of Tabata training. And it might be something you want to join in just to maybe get yourself started, get yourself going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aaron, I think maybe you could add some of that value also, maybe dropping it in the group, letting people know about it, informing
yeah.
others. It would be really valuable to bring that, because that mitochondria that you're talking about, that releases that EDMT so that people can really tap back into this ether. So maybe if it's valuable, or if you don't mind, it would be really important for the community to get informed about what you're doing. And also, if I may add or suggest, perhaps you could drop in some insights here and there when you feel called to in the Vitality group, the Foundations of Vitality group on the WhatsApp community. Would that be okay with you, bro?
Yeah, buddy, that would be yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'd really appreciate it, especially I think that there's such an important responsibility for uh everyone, for all of us, to really step into vitality. Vitality is really the nectar of life, and the more that you are contributing, as I observe here in this space, the more of the community will be able to benefit themselves in terms of how they can really step up to what's most important for us all. And the breath is everything. So if you can, it would be amazing. So people can be informed about your live. They could, hear insights from you. You can really also share, and they could reach out. Whatever the case is, it'd be amazing to also, help you shine, so we can also see more of your beautiful face on here.
And talking about vitality and body fitness and flexibility and movement, all of that. Aaron is the person I'm looking the most up for. Like his body and his movement and his dancing. When he goes and dance in the nightclub, the whole nightclub stops dancing and watching him dancing. It's literally, I can show you videos if you want. But I would invite everyone to see it by themselves by joining his program tomorrow, whatever he's gonna do. It
No
sounds
buts, no
amazing.
buts.
I wanna jump on that.
Yeah, yeah. It's very kind, Siggy, and very true as well. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
think,
think
you know, just gents, ladies, as we're moving into this new awakened state of being, as we're moving into a higher state of consciousness, and we understand that we are all connected through synchronicity, alignment, energy. It's beautiful. I think what's really important for us is to understand what we're actually up against. And when I say up against, I mean the operations of dark, negative energies that we just sometimes overlook. And it's everything from like social media to the Blu-ray lights on the phones. I'm actually not on here now because I don't look at the phone when I speak to it anymore because of the Blu-ray. It's been too much for my brain. I went through some really dopamine bashes by getting addicted to social media. But the food, the nutrition, like if we want to connect, really connect, we got to get our bodies healthy because our bodies are our source of, it's the vehicle, it's the vessel. It's our ability to receive love and to receive light really comes down to how is our vehicle working? How is our vessel working? And if we have toxic bodies, if we have toxic cells, if we have cancer, cancerous cells that are operating through acidity, through sugar, oh God, through ill health, then we're always going to find it hard to feel good, to feel that resonance of truth, that abundance. It's always our birthright. We're born into abundance, right? We're always going to struggle to feel whole if what we do to the body is to sabotage it. But what's really beautiful is that it's such a simple fix. It's actually not that complex and not that hard. But what's important for you is to find the meaning in your change. For me, it's my boy. I have a little child called Theo. And he's born on the 1st of the 1st, and that means new beginnings. And the synchronicity of his guidance, like we're all here as soul family. We're all here because we're here to contribute and to support each other. And we find meaning in the experience. And when you can find your meaning, all of this stuff about keto diet, sunlight, 5D consciousness, healing the gut, it's important to resonate with your meaning. That's like when you find your meaning, you find your way beyond any of it. Otherwise, we're just talking about things. It's just, but your meaning, like life has no meaning, they say, right? You get to choose the meaning is the correct approach. And everything is always meaning to serve you. So whatever your situation is right now, whatever your individual circumstance is, finding that deep meaning that resonates at the soul level, that's where you'll find your key source of light. It won't be from the diet. It won't be from the exercise. It'll be from the meaning of why you're doing it. Just the keto diet, the fitness, all these different things. That's just that's an extra benefit. That's the tool.
It's to make the journey more fun.
It's the magic that we create. Meaningful action with grace, integrity, and curiosity. Woo!
That's so beautiful.
And actually, these are the principles of wellness, right? One of the principles of wellness and well-being and longevity is having that purpose, because that's your drive. It gives you the desire to achieve, right? And it gives you meaning to your life. And this also falls into ikigai, right? And in terms of, your purpose. And people in Japan live a long life because they are generally much more mentally active than a lot of other cultures, and that contributes to your longevity, is your purpose, your mission, your drive. And when you find that, you know, that can, as you said, right, leads you to a longer, healthier, happier, more fulfilling life. Good news is I've found my purpose.
Ooh.
What is it?
This, my
Love it.
purpose, my purpose is to make an impact to improve our planet and our society.
You know, Ross, I I want to challenge you on that.
Go ahead.
Isn't it just, I used to have that vision, and you know what, brother? That feeling of peacefulness inside of me is far more valuable. And in actual fact, if I can live peaceful, purposeful within myself, there's no, the impact is just made, because what you want, I've battled with egoic constructs of saving the world, changing the world, helping, making an impact. But ultimately, the only impact I really truly want to make, my man, is just in myself. And whatever will come out of that will be the right thing for me. And I feel that's kind of what we always want. We just want to feel whole, and then we're able to then create from wholeness. Because otherwise we can get too caught up. It's so easy to get on the egoic ladder of like Tony Robbins, like, let's go out there and change the world. I mean, I've lived that for a long time. But when you feel whole, Ross, you don't want to go anywhere. You don't want to do anything. You just want to be with yourself. It's like you really value your time and your energy, because that sense of wholeness. And then,
So I'm going to challenge you now, Aaron,
yeah, go for it.
because you brought up Tony, and I think that there's a very I don't think you have the awareness to from your perspective bring up Tony and say that there's an ego there. I think that there's a lack of curiosity to project that statement.
Yeah, maybe. I'm never right. I'm never 100% correct. So maybe there's a possibility for sure.
Yeah, because if we understand the experience of Tony and what he's cultivated to go out and do and taking the responsibility that he's chosen to take on, then you won't recognize it as ego, you might recognize it as spirit. And that's a spirit-centric philosophy. And so when anyone challenges Tony but doesn't actually know them or know him, what I'm recognizing is that it's coming from a lack of congruent efforts, because it's easy to project a situation or challenge things that we don't know that we don't know. And when there's a relationship that's built, it comes from a different perspective. So I invite to be even more curious, because, you know, there's 48 years of a man that has done a lot of deep work, that has built a profound foundation. And for me, this man has been a very meaningful teacher, my first teacher, in fact. And so I will always protect, and not that I need to. However, when the thing is that when things are being projected, Tony is one of the few in this world that doesn't talk, he does. And so it's about the behavior. It's observing the way a person walks his life and chooses to be a person of action, a person of meaningful action, with grace, with integrity, with curiosity, because that is what will create magic. And so utilizing the language, especially when we're saying things about people that we don't actually know, I invite the curiosity to come in even more.
That was so beautiful, and I'm really grateful for that, because that was really, I needed to hear that. That was very aligning, and it's really beautiful when we can all, I mean, for certainly myself, we can speak about other people not knowing them, but actually what I needed was that feedback there. So I don't feel, there's no like, oh, I did something wrong. It's actually like, oh, that was really, really insightful. And I'm really grateful for that interaction. And it's really nice to receive that information back, because that all landed so well. So like, I'm super grateful for that. Thank you.
Thank you for receiving, and receiving it with love, because that's my intention. I in the past would have not been able to express it in that capacity. And so it's nice to be able to share it with us.
You did it, Eric, in the past as well, very beautifully, when I was going through Tony Robbins' recognition process.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a completely different challenge for Aaron, actually. You know, when you said about, you know, being peaceful with yourself, and that is essentially your mission, and I agree, and I think it's a beautiful way of being. But I think you're kind of saying the same thing that I did, just in a different way, and maybe a better way, which is when you're at
I'm
peace with
sorry. I'm
yourself.
sorry. We're just catching the butts. We got Ronald catching the butts. Sorry.
However, instead, I'll use that word. All right? I'm going to retrain myself to stop using but. And however, I think what you're saying is that when you're at peace with yourself, then you create an impact as a byproduct of being at peace with yourself. And I completely agree with that. And that is essentially, you know, you making an impact, because naturally, you like today you've had a massive impact on me, you know, in a positive way, just to clarify. And so, you know, by you being at peace with yourself and having done the work on yourself, and this is very much like what Tony does, having done that, and as he continues and you continue and we all continue to make that work, we are by natural byproduct having an impact on other people, on the world and society. And I want to take that. I'm going to take that to a different level, because I feel driven to do so, but not because of ego. I don't want. I didn't use but.
Yes, you did.
I'm gonna have a butt jar in a minute for butt.
Yeah, butt jar. I love that.
However, I want to create the environment, because I
How
love.
about in the present? Because you're already doing it. So
Okay,
again, like you.
You are creating.
I love creating as Ronald identified with me today, innovation and growth is my key purpose. And so I am creating that, and I'm going to do more of it because I see it's all going to improve our lives and have an impact on our lives. It's going to have an impact on my life. It's going to have an impact on my children's life, my grandchildren, hopefully, and your children and everyone else's children. And so, therefore, I'm doing it from a place of love and not from an ego perspective, because at the end of the day, I couldn't care less if my name is on any of it as long as I've had my part. And I believe, like all of us here, we have such a level of wisdom, knowledge, and desire and hunger to grow and improve ourselves, which the world really needs. And our our future generations need it. So it's not about me being labeled as Ross Farrow, the greatest impactful person on the planet, because there's always going to be someone more impactful than me, and I have no desire to be in newspapers or anything like that. In actual fact, I would probably prefer not to. So I want to be able to create that and know that I've done something valuable and impactful with my skills and my knowledge and the continuation evolution of my skills and knowledge, as opposed to, being, profit, greed, ego driven, if that makes sense. So, you know, I have no desire to be the chairman or board member of an IPO company answering to the political banking systems of the world, which I think are completely messed up and need to be changed and are changing slowly. But I do believe that I believe I have a lot to add value there, and I want to put my skills and knowledge to good use as opposed to profiteering. Obviously, if I make a decent living along the way, I would be very happy. But that's also why I believe that the universe
And
had
and you're gonna
and
end.
and I believe that that's why the universe taught me this valuable lesson in the last 18 months that I had to go through to be able to grow and become that person, and realize that, and that's exactly, I think that covers it. Yeah.
You're amazing. You're amazing.
And I just ordered your book, Ross.
I love
Hey,
them.
Hey!
I heard his book.
amazing. Thank you.
Love it. That was so powerful. That's wonderful.
So, did you get that?
Yeah.
Woo!
I love this, Ross, because we have it all recorded and we can watch it back over and over and over and over and over again. And you get to then also rekindle that. We can feel it, reconnect to it, reshape it, whatever we need to do it. And my brother, I'm so grateful that you're stepping in fully to this magical identity that you hold so deeply within yourself. And it's amazing to see you stepping again into your power. So I honor you, my bro. I honor you big time.
Thank you.
Look at Sagita's body. His body
Fuck
is
yeah!
showing
He's
the
like
energy that's going through all of us.
laughing off.
1, 2, 3, you rock!
You rock. Oh,
So,
he's so cute.
ladies, do you have anything that you'd like to add before we finalize this beautiful call?
No, I mean, it was just a fabulous call to kind of just sit back and listen to. We can all, it's not like everybody can gain something from that. That's super powerful.
I've been crying since I got here. So I'm in my father's house getting ready to do my purpose. I have a family coming, and they have a 4-month-old. And the 4-month-old needs heart surgery and lung surgery. And I'm realizing, as Aaron's speaking and what you said, Ross, because I too risk my life to feel good. And so I get it. And, I'm just grateful because I was literally in, I don't know what Zoom room I was in, go in a life mastery, mastery university room, deciding whether to sign up for wealth mastery or plat. And I felt my father's shoulder, like he put a lot of money into my therapy. Not even, probably half as much as the platinum partnership, And I'm like, he's like, just do it. Because he used to say to me, Amy, you'd give the world away. And that's who I am in the world. And those are your people. And then it was up to me to take it from there, right? And so I've been going back and forth this whole time, and I just feel so divinely guided. And I'm standing here, and the sun's coming right in the window, and I'm in his house, and I just feel him just taking care of me. So all of what you guys are saying, like I used to work out really hard, and I was shooting heroin and coke at the same time. So what really was I doing, right? What was I trying to get normal? Like it doesn't even make sense. So, and I could relate to what you said, Aaron, because I have so much. I'm on the verge of I could lose everything or have everything, and it's up to me. And I've never felt more at peace. It's just crazy and good. And I needed to hear what you said about the body, because I used to work out and now I meditate. And I used to work out because I'd get to a point in my like I'd go 3 days without working out. And I'd be like, oh, why am I like this? Oh, I didn't work out for 3 days. So then I would work out and then I would get okay. And now I meditate and do the Joe Dispenza and do all of my healing things. I started out when I became a plant priming 3 times a day. And it took me about, I'd say 6 weeks. Like when I started, I could feel nothing. I had nothing. I just didn't know. I didn't know what I had to be grateful for. And then all of a sudden it just hit me like a freaking wave. And I was bawling, crying, and so happy that like all of what I did have, right? Everything works. My body's in great shape. I mean, and so I just feel so grateful and so lucky and so guided. And I just have to allow the guidance and allow, it's me allowing myself to feel the goodness that I've been presented and stop fighting it. So what you said about the food and all of that and the ADHD, yeah, it's just, it all makes so much sense. And I'm just so grateful.
Amy, thank you so much, sweetheart. It's so beautiful. As I look at you, look, I'm gonna look at the phone now because I listened to your voice.
Please,
Break my little rule.
put it on.
As
Break the rules. Yay!
as that anxiety, that anxiousness you're going through. I honestly, Amy, I can relate to that. About 4 weeks ago, I was walking around England, and I was back in England. I was staying in my dad's spare bedroom, right? And this is with a couple of $100,000 in the bank, and I'm living on people's sofas and talk about like self-worth, rock bottom, seeking love. I just didn't want to be on my own. And it's only through the grace of purpose, which is my son.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I wanted to fucking kill myself, the anchor was always the anchor. And the only thing that I could control, honestly, the only thing that I could control was what I was putting in my mouth and what was coming out of my mouth. And I'm so glad that Eric called me out on speaking negatively about someone else, because that's one of the worst spiritual practices in the world, is to speak negatively about anyone, to gossip at any level. especially when you haven't met the person. But just through bringing the food in, I bumped.
And
That's it.
And yeah.
Welcome to the family, Aaron. No but.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's this? What have I missed? What's this? What are we doing?
So we don't say but, we say and, because but negates
Oh,
everything you said
cool.
prior to
Okay,
but.
cool. Okay.
So it's just watching the language, which is what you said when I was coming on. That's what you said, and it's exactly what I did in this work. So go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Good. It's good to learn. Stay curious, eh?
Mhm.
So the only thing I could control was really what I was putting in my mouth. And I met people that were I was working for a bodybuilder called Eddie Abu, who's got 4 million followers on Instagram. And he was the biggest fucking arsehole I've ever met in my life 10 years ago when I worked in his gym. This guy was just such a steroid head, aggressive. He broke my soul one day. Like, I won't go into details, but he broke me. And he is now traveling the world teaching people about nutrition because he cured his psychiatric issues through nutrition. And all of these agitations, these anxieties that I see that you're with right now, that's just because the vessel, the body needs looking after. And if you look after the body, you'll look after the soul.
Mhm.
And sometimes that's the best place to start because, you know, we want to work from the spirit down, right? Do the spirit work. So we're doing the life work, the karma work, you know, doing the heavy look. We want to work from the spirit down, ideally. But sometimes it's
Mhm.
better just to work with what we got. And if your home is your body,
Exactly.
look after that. And then you can be grateful for stuff outside of you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You got this. You'll do so well. It'll only take you 3 or 4 weeks. Ketogenic diet, my girl.
I never thought of it like that. I never thought of like how much control I had just by the things that I put in my body. Just wasn't like how that will make such a difference. Though I've
Go
done
back and do a
different, I
load of
just
go
never,
back and do a load of cocaine and you'll figure it out quite quickly.
yeah.
so everyone, I think that this is where I have to call it because I have to go. And if you
Yeah.
guys,
Can
I
I
think
say
we
one more thing, Eric? And the
please,
one more thing
please.
I want to say is Tony's got him really good over the last few years. His free events, and he's got one coming up at the end of the month, are so good. And he's got one Time to Rise that last year he made the distinction for me between energy and positive thinking. That I ended up doing an energy course on Mind Valley. I highly recommend his free event for a way of you to get to know him.
Yeah, one of the biggest things is to remind ourselves always that it's not just about positive thinking, it's about
Energy.
intelligence. And intelligence is about seeing things as they are, not worse than they are. And that will give us
Yes, I allowed a bank to steal my energy when I was in complete flow. And it was really inspirational what he taught me. And I'm going to make a difference for a lot of people, so I'm really excited about it.
so let's expand our energy. I love you all, and let's have a
Love you
beautiful
too.
rest. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah.
Yep, see you
Ciao.
tomorrow.
Beautiful. Ciao.
Bye.